Hey everyone, John Lorden here. Welcome to another episode of Johnny Vlogs for today, February 5th, 2018. I have to say I'm feeling kind of victorious today. And no, it's not because of the Super Bowl yesterday. Some of us, our favorite teams, didn't make it that far. But no, there is another thing that it's been kind of nagging at me for the past few weeks. I've talked about it a little bit here and there on the channel, but today I'm going to give you guys the full story of how Bigfoot almost ate my channel. I know. It's a really weird thing. Before we get started on that, I have a very big list of Patreon supporters. So many new supporters came on over this past week. Thank you guys so much. It is a major component to keeping me here, having your support. So I really want to tell you guys how much I appreciate you and get through this list of all of the new supporters. Haley Scott, Sophie Batal, hope I'm saying that right, Anna Semyonova, Debbie, April Lindblom, Mario Romani with a very big pledge. Thank you so much, Mario. Rebecca Reinhart, Megan Kuski, hope I'm saying that right too, Cassandra Lauberecht, Cynthia M. Booth, Terry Pistona, and Allison Tatman. They are all new Patreon supporters. On top of that, Larissa Klaus bumped her pledge up. Thank you so much, Larissa. Really appreciate that. So what's the story? What am I talking about? Well, you may remember several weeks ago that I did a review of a film called Discovering Bigfoot. And it's a film that featured a man named Todd Standing. As a matter of fact, here's just a quick little screenshot. Hey, Todd. How's it going over there? Yes, and some of you noticed that, the video disappeared from my channel. And more than that, there was, if you tried to watch the video, if you clicked a link from Twitter and went there, you saw that it was removed because of a copyright claim. Now, on my end, I got an email from YouTube saying that there was a copyright claim filed and the video was automatically removed and that I had a copyright strike. Now, it's strange because I've had several different types of copyright claims. I have to say to date, with each one that I've contested, I've actually won them. I'm knocking on wood, just because I don't take anything for granted in this YouTube universe. There's a lot of black boxes, and when you're dealing with situations like that, it could be quite nerve-wracking. But there's a few different types of copyright claims. There's one where there's like a content ID match is what it's called. And essentially it means that they have verified that you've used music or someone's video in your video. And in those cases, it's not really a big deal. It'll kind of notify you about it. And it'll say, look, anything that this video makes going forward is now going to go to that company, which is kind of screwy because, you know, especially with the stuff that I do, I'm talking about other topics. Sometimes I have to use media. I'm allowed to, thanks to something called fair use, which is a bit tricky to understand. I don't want to really dive into it here, but essentially, as long as I'm reviewing a piece of art, I can show little snippets of it. If I'm reading news articles, news is actually, there is no copyright on news as long as it's true facts. So those are kind of the guidelines I've built my channel around, essentially. And movie reviews I've been doing for a long time, even before I got into this kind of true crime mystery thing that I'm in now. And I've never had a content strike that automatically pulled down the video and knocked my channel. Essentially, if you get 3 of those strikes, your channel automatically gets shut off. Everything gets shut down. So it's a little nerve-wracking just to have one of those strikes, let alone if you're getting close to 3. They give you a period of time. I can't remember if it's 90 days, I think. After 90 days, the strike will remove itself automatically as long as you don't get any further strikes. So this was a strange one because this was just a straight up movie review, which I've done over 100 movie reviews on the channel at this point, between Geek and Dorks reviews, the old review show, and Itchy Mysteries, the new review show. And this is a sticky point because this video is supposedly real. The name of the company is Even Reality Entertainment. So if the events that are happening in this movie are indeed true and real facts, you cannot copyright that. copyright is made to protect original ideas. It's made to protect if, for example, if he had created a different type of monster that wasn't Bigfoot, it was like a horror movie character, and he made a movie about that horror movie character, then copyright would apply. But here we have something that would certainly be newsworthy. I mean, you're talking about finding a new type of species or a new animal out there. We have it being presented as a documentary. It's being presented as true fact. So I was amazed that YouTube didn't even have some type of check, just, hey, let's have someone watch the video that this copyright claim is on and make sure that it's a good claim before we pull the video down. It seems like they just had an immediate reaction. Nope. Pull the video down, hit the channel with a strike, send the content creator an email, and let them try to fight it, basically, if they want. So, of course, I did. Now, when you start doing that with YouTube, they have all this very strong language about you're entering a legal process. It's kind of what I call the path of most resistance. It's like they want you to be uncomfortable at some point and to not go through with this whole appeal. They would rather just get rid of the copyright issue, take down the video, give you a little slap on the wrist. Hey, let's call it a day. Forget about this. But I wasn't going to forget about it, especially when someone reached out to me. Hey, Jesse, from the National Cryptid Society, I think, if I'm recalling the name correctly, who follows me on Twitter and is someone else that is just looking into these things with an open mind. And obviously, he had a bit more information. Now, what was that info? Well, I wasn't the first one to have a copyright claim for reviewing this film. As a matter of fact, an article was written. This is the article that we're actually seeing the picture here over at Singular, I think it's 14.com. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. I really don't use that term too much. And let's just read a quick blurb from this article. I'll have a link to the whole article in the description box below if you want to check out the whole thing. The National Cryptid Society said in an email that in addition to Restricted Access, which is another YouTube channel, both Lordenarts and Matt Squatch Presents had videos removed as a result of reality entertainment. Now, in one of these cases, they even got an email from someone who signed it TS, who we assume is probably more than likely Todd Standing, apparently also because he was the director. He's a star of this thing. I didn't get any contact from him directly. And I think that's kind of a shame in this whole thing, because the points that were raised, particularly in my review, which I have to admit kind of went more than just as a traditional movie review. I really took a look at what he was doing and tried to apply logic to it and say, how can we strengthen his argument? And that's why I started talking about trap cameras. How come he's not using trap cameras while these apples are being taken and all this? I'll have the video in the description box below too if you want to take a look at it. So it's a bummer to me that Todd didn't think to just defend his position. You know, get into the comment threads, talk to us about why. Is there some reasonable explanation why you can't use trap cameras, why you're using video cameras that are extremely far away from where you're placing these apples, just not even leaving a camera with the apples when you're placing them in some instances. It's just, there is basic logic that is kind of failing us here. And the National Cryptid Society stayed in touch with me just to kind of let me know about the other cases that they were finding as they were putting together information to help with this article. And they found that Todd is actually selling kind of Bigfoot expedition trips through his website at almost $5,000 a pop. I think it's like $4,800. So he will take you out, and he keeps the group small, apparently 3 or 4 people. He'll take you out in the wilderness. I'm sure he'll take a bunch of apples. He'll leave the apples, and when they disappear, he'll say that Bigfoot took them. He'll find imprints and tell you why they're Bigfoot tracks and all that kind of stuff. I have a feeling that him attacking the videos and trying to get the videos taken down is because he's worried that our opinions, particularly if we're talking about his methods, might impact some of his sales in terms of these trips that he's trying to sell. I think. I can't say for certain. I'm not in the guy's head. I'm just not sure why he would attack movie reviews, which are usually pretty good press. I mean, you know, it's a great way for other people to learn that this film even exists, that it's out there. Even if they're not the best of reviews, people are talking about it. Some people have said, you know, there's no such thing as bad press. You know, all press is good press. I don't know. I don't know. This has just been a really weird thing. And last night, I finally got a notification from YouTube that it has been reviewed, that I am in right standing with how I've produced and released the piece, and the video has been turned back on. And I checked on my channel, and my copyright strike is gone. So free and clear. Another one that I've challenged and been able to overturn. What I really wonder is YouTube going to let companies like this, companies that are obviously abusing their system to harm their creators, why don't you knock them? You know, if he filed 3 false copyright claims on 3 different YouTube channels, why don't you stop that company from being able to file any copyright claims for 90 days? Just put the shoe on the other foot. Do the same thing that you do to us effectively if we are not handling our content correctly. Because these claims, you know, for some channels, they're lost revenue. But more for me, it's just about the lost conversation. There are important points that I think are being discussed in that video, and we didn't get to talk about them. The comments all disappeared when the video was taken down. It's this whole thing. And by the way, I think we live in America. I think we have free speech here, Todd. So I really wish that you would address the issues. Maybe on your next film, you can take some trap cameras. Prove me wrong. Find that footage. I don't know. Kind of a tough thing, but I'm happy it came out how it did. It was just a long process and a little weird, another little weird nag in the constant chain of small nags being a YouTuber. But obviously the good sides heavily outweigh the bad sides. The good sides are people like you that watch these videos. The good sides are dealing with family members, in particular with the missing person show Searchlight. There are a lot of good sides to doing this kind of thing, but every now and then I get kind of pulled back down to earth and, oh yeah, here's another process you got to go through just because you want to speak your opinion, but we're going to do it. All right, everyone. So that is the story, how Bigfoot almost ate my channel. If you haven't seen the review, I really recommend that you check it out. There's also a special little surprise towards the end. I'm not going to blow it for you, just a personal little Lord and Arts touch that I think you would appreciate in that video as well. Hope everyone out there has a great Monday. Thank you so much for spending some time with me here, and I will see you back on the Lord and Arts channel tomorrow. Well, at least I'll be here. I hope you will too. See you there.